Oh, shit. You know what that means. You hear that knuckle up?
I like the beat. The drop.
Knuckle up, and the buckle up when I chuck 'em up. Hitting like a bowler from the shoulder, raise up off the top. Bad knuckle brawler, delivering kicks like Van Damme. Ducking under your hooks, chin checking like Batman. Gang bang, slang bang.
That is Knuckle Up. Welcome to the Inside BJJ podcast. Back again, live from Nashville. Your favorite jiu-jitsu podcast in the entire world. The most infamous one, maybe. We're back again. You know what? Hold on. What about now? I think we were muted there.
Mine says it's muted.
No, yours is good. I'm good. Okay, welcome to the Inside BJJ podcast. Hey. I am live in studio here with my homie Blake Dodd. What's going on, Blake?
Hello, guys. Thank you, Coach Tim, for
hell yeah, man. Awesome, dude. We got a nice little midweek show lined up. We're going to be talking to Renato Canuto in just a few minutes here. He'll be joining us on the Inside BJJ stage. So I'm looking forward to talking to him, getting some feedback from him. He's going to be doing the PGF Season 6 starting up here on April 21st. So I'm pretty stoked to have a chance to talk to him. Dude, okay, Blake, my man, we got to talk about something. Big news has been announced in the boxing world. I guess you can call it boxing world, right? We're talking Jake Paul, Iron Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
On Netflix. To be honest, the fact that it's on Netflix kind of has me tripping out way more than the fact that it's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it would surprise me a little more if WWE wouldn't have just did their little thing.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
So I'm starting to think Netflix is fixing to take over, maybe.
Well, you know, Netflix has the contract with WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like billions.
Yeah, it's a big deal. You know what's funny is, for as much, you know, smack as everybody talks on the WWE, people like to make fun and act like all that stuff, but in terms of content, every major provider out there now wants the WWE because they have so much content and they bring so many subscribers with them.
Yeah.
Wherever they go.
It's bigger than it's ever been.
Easy. Way bigger. Way bigger.
At its worst.
Yeah, right? No kidding. So Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's 57 years old. Like, if you're 57, and I know he fought like 4 years ago against Roy Jones Jr., somewhere around there, 3 or 4 years ago. What is Tyson? What's in it for him?
I think for him, for Tyson, it's fucking awesome. It's fucking, like, to be honest, if he feels good, if he's walking around and like feeling pretty good, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, fuck it. This is the yeah, everyone loves you, bro. Like, you're Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And go in there and just try to knock him the fuck out. But for Jake, he's a fucking
everyone's mad at Jake Paul.
I understand what he's doing though.
Yeah. But everyone's mad at him. Like, if you look at all of the posts, people are reposting the poster and they're all saying this guy is full of it.
Yeah.
What he's going to do is attempt to get a win over Mike Tyson and then basically say, I beat Mike Tyson. That's what he's trying to do. It's like Tyson's almost twice his age, man.
What on the other side of it is he's fighting who he should be fighting when it comes to like what's going to come at him.
Yeah.
His team.
They're preparing him for certain types of fighters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's interesting.
He's right where he needs to be. He's
preparing professionally. Like, when he shows up, he's in shape. He's ready to fight, and you could tell he is improving. Like, he's definitely improving. So he's taking it seriously, but it's like the guys he's fighting on the way are just...
It's like, why you got to do this like that? But how else...
Well, what's he supposed to do?
He could do it, but it would be against guys that
regular guys,
the communities don't know.
Well, and he don't want to take a chance fighting another up-and-comer boxer who's hungry like he is, because he might get his ass handed to him. So he's trying to take these clout matches.
I mean, it's like hard to blame him.
It is. He's padding his record, but while he pads his record and gets better, he's trying to fight guys that have some kind of marketability so he can also sell big pay-per-views on the way.
That's why he's like, I'm going to knock Canelo out at some point.
Well, imagine...
He's going to wait till he's old as fuck.
I know. Canelo 70. Yeah. What if Paul has 20 more fights against guys kind of like picking and like this, and then he has a record of, 29-0, and then he actually really fights somebody?
I think that's what's going to happen.
I think that's what he's trying to do. And it might work. If it works, he's going to be a dude that has made $1 million paydays since his first fight. More or less, right? Which is the way to do it. He could be
the richest boxer at Texas.
Absolutely, he could be, which is kind of crazy. We're seeing such a weird shakeup in the combat sports world where the guys are going back and forth, and like UFC fight, like Nagano boxed Tyson Fury, which is wild.
Yeah,
I think MMA.
I think Joshua and
they're
fighting.
I think they're gonna fight. Yeah,
and there's soon.
It's pretty wild. So my thing is like, who's Jake Paul going to fight next? I'm thinking he's going to call out Sylvester Stallone. He's going to want to fight him, but Sylvester Stallone has to fight as Rocky Balboa. And then his record could be that he has a win over Iron Mike Tyson and Rocky Balboa. Wouldn't that be sick?
I think he's got to go for a fighter.
I think he's going to end up fighting like your high school gym teacher. Mr. Ed, you know what I mean?
He just did the one before. The one before, no one knew who that guy was. He's kind of doing that too. He's kind of going out and fighting some ones that he don't really care about marketing.
Yeah.
And then he's back to the big guy.
Yeah, guys that he have stylistically that he can beat.
Because the guys he's fighting, this might be the most worst.
Tyson is probably the most skilled, but I think the question is, does he have the power? They probably are thinking he's not as fast, and if he does land, he's not going to land with so much power that Jake's going to be in trouble. That's probably what they're thinking.
He's 57.
Because if Jake fights somebody that has power, it's usually somebody that's not a boxer. Mm-hmm. Like he fought, was it Woodley? Yeah. That he fought,
Got a good right hand.
Woodley's not a professional boxer. He's an MMA fighter and a wrestler, So, yeah, I don't know, man. I know people are upset about it, but boxing's, trying to get clout. You got Ryan Garcia, has he lost his mind, or is he just promoting? That's the question.
He's trying to find a way. I don't know.
He's trying to find a way.
I don't know.
To stay relevant.
No comment.
He said he said that he has $1 billion. Like he has $1 billion marketing, whatever. He was King Ryan, and he looked untouchable for a while.
But then he got touched by
a handful.
Tank.
Yeah, he did.
He shouldn't have fought Tank. I knew when he took that fight. I said, I'm watching that fight because that's a stupid fight for him.
Yeah.
Tank's further down the line. That's not the time to fight him. He's fucked.
He overreached.
He's fucked.
And it seems like maybe psychologically he can't quite handle the fact that he did overreach.
Yeah, you can see it in their interviews. If you watch him and Haney's interviews.
Yeah.
And their little beast, Haney's just like, what the fuck you talking about, dude? I'm going to fuck you up. And Garcia's like, nah, you're fake. Your dad's pimping you out. Your dad's pimping you out.
What was this last accusation? He said that like they tied him up to a tree in Bohemian Grove and made him watch
kids.
Yeah, being raped or something. I mean, look, dude, here's the thing. If that really happened, then this is an odd time to bring it out to the public. And if it didn't happen, that's a real jacked up way to try to get some eyeballs on what you're doing. There's a lot of other things you could say that could get attention that are not, I was tied to a tree and forced to watch other children be raped. Like, that's ridiculous.
The thing is, if you're going to say it, you gotta show it.
That's if you're
going to say that, you got to show it.
Yeah,
bro.
that's ridiculous, man.
That's what people were telling him, I think.
Yeah.
Like, show it, bro. Like,
what are you talking about?
We're not trying to listen to you, but
yeah,
show it.
No, man, I feel you, dude. I think it's wild, dude.
My buddy, I feel like he hit on it. He either took a lot of fucking shrooms
You think it's that? I wonder if it is that, dude.
Or he's drinking a lot.
Something.
He's got something wrong with his head right now, some PTSD going on.
You think so? He might.
Yeah, I think
he probably does.
If the fighters or that organization, whoever they're fighting for this time, they should not allow this fight.
No, I agree 100% with you.
Not allow this fight. He's got something going on.
Yeah.
They need to take him and
have his head looked at.
They need to take him to the emergency room. And just make sure everything's good, you know? I like Garcia. It's not that I don't like him. He's good, bro. Like I just think he's got some problems. If you look back at his other content and stuff,
yeah,
he's kind of had some problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if they will let you fight even if you're mentally unstable. Do you have to pass like a psych eval, or would like nobody be allowed to fight at that point?
Whatever the fuck you want. Man.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. So I had a list of opponents that are upset because they feel like Jake Paul ducked them. And I was just going to pay a little homage to those guys right now just so we could see them real quick. Glass Joe.
I seen this.
Von Kaiser. Piston Honda. Don Flamingo. He passed up King Hippo. Great Tiger. Great Tiger had the jewel in his headpiece that flashed, and that's how you knew he was going to spin around. Bald Bull. Soda Popinski. Woo, that's a motherfucker. Mr. Sandman. And then one of the hardest guys in the game to beat, Macho Man. Super Macho Man, actually.
That's dope.
But no, he didn't fight any of those guys. He put the cheat code in and went straight to Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Oh, there's Tyson.
Tyson's right there.
What was that game?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh, okay.
This was on the NES way back in the day. And
it's like a Game Boy?
The old school original Nintendo console. It was on that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that came out.
Oh,
so.
I had that console.
Yeah. You never played Punch-Out? Ah, damn, it was one of the first kind of like killer games on the NES.
Mine was they played Mario.
Yeah.
But I loved Zombies in My Backyard. I think that's what it's called.
Oh shit, I don't remember that one.
Dude, that game was awesome, bro.
Interesting.
You're talking about the one where you got to blow into the thing and put it back in.
Yeah. That one, man. That's the one.
My mom and them were really on it then when I was like coming up. They were playing like Kirby and Tetris.
All that shit. Yeah. So dude, sorry about that. Got my ESPN alert. What did you think, man? So a couple things are going on. One is there was this post that Gordon Ryan made, and it's kind of been floating around a little bit here. Basically, he came out and said that the owner of ADCC, doesn't owe anybody anything. There was some people complaining about fighter, like the amount of pay that the athletes are getting, and Gordon Ryan basically said, like, that Mo doesn't owe anybody anything. And Craig Jones is saying, like, hey, it's hard to make money. He doesn't do ADCC because there's not a lot of money. And Gordon's response is like, hey, man, these ADCC dudes, they put their own money up and they financed it all. They rented the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. I believe it was there, right? Spent $1 million or $2 million, whatever it costs to do that. Like, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to have an event of that stature, pay for everyone to fly out. Like,
it's the venue. Yeah,
the venue, the production. They certainly didn't cheap out on it, but I guess there's guys that feel like, hey, we should be getting money. And, some people agree, some people disagree. What I thought was interesting, though, is that Brandon McCaffrin made a post about it, and he said, hey, this is how you have to look at it. ADCC is like the Olympics. People don't do the Olympics and you don't win money when you win the Olympics. Okay, that gold medal, you could go like sell it at a pawn shop and get some money, but that's not the point.
Get endorsements and you win a gold medal.
You could, yeah, for sure. There's endorsements for sure, but you're doing it because it's the Olympics, man. It's the best in the world. And so Brandon's standpoint was, let's treat ADCC like that. They're still the best. But if you want to make money, come to PGF.
That's fine.
If you're trying to be a professional grappler, come to PGF.
Yeah.
If you're trying to
call
get
that ADCC shit. That's how I feel, to be honest. I ain't trying to go and compete. I don't want to do that.
I ain't trying to be in the Olympics. But if you're like, hey, you can make a little money, and it's like, okay, let's talk.
Maybe once I make some money and I can go to the Olympics with some money.
Yeah, right.
Then yeah, I'll fly out first class.
Go to ADCC. Yeah. You know, unfortunately, it never works that way. You know what would be cool is if Brandon, if with the PGF, eventually, if they put on like a veterans league where you got the dudes that are like really good big names, but they're 50 years old now, that would be dope to see.
Yeah.
You could go all over the place with that stuff, man. Yeah.
Especially if they're rolling. A lot of guys are still rolling, bro. They can do some matches.
Oh, yeah, they're getting on it. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's for sure. So, yeah, man, I thought that was interesting. I kind of agree with McCaffrey's take, I got to say. Like, I think that that's probably a pretty reasonable way to approach it.
You couldn't compete at the T-Mobile Arena, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
We were competing in expos with dudes walking around with muscles and shit while we're trying to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
literally sitting down and people walking by and farting because they're eating so much protein. Like,
yeah.
They're at the T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, right. No kidding, right? What a big deal.
I would love to do something at maybe the Bridgestone or even Municipal.
Yeah.
Municipal would be amazing.
You know, that's why, and people don't like my opinion on this, I don't really care, but Halleck Gracie was the one that moved the needle in that direction with Metamoris. He really did. Now, didn't manage the finances very well, didn't come through on his obligations, not justifying any of that before you get your panties in a wad out there, but he did have a vision for what it could be. And that event on the day of and leading up to, they did a lot of work, man. They were doing real video promos and going ahead of time. Like they spent a lot of time on the production of it, and they spent a lot of money, and they treated the athletes really well. I was at the after party for Metamoris 1. I was there. I remember it. So it wasn't cheap. It was like pretty nice, you know, and people had a good time, and everyone was loving it and laughing and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, things kind of went sour later. That's true. It did. But that presentation set the standard, and then people realized, oh, we can't do this in a high school gymnasium without some kind of production. It has to look good. If it's going to be on TV, it's got to look good. And then, you know, Eddie was doing EBI at the Orpheum, which I think they should go back to the Orpheum Theater in LA. They should do an EBI there.
I'm not loving the new venues.
It's okay. You know, the Mexico stuff is okay, but
I don't want to go to Mexico.
Yeah, you know, I think it might be easier to run an event in Mexico. So I get that. Yeah. But the Orpheum would be really, really cool, just as a throwback. That was we had never seen jiu-jitsu on the stage like that.
Yeah, and all the videos from all that was awesome.
Oh, man, it's so freaking neat, dude.
Anybody that did, like, content during those times, like,
yeah,
their shit's dope.
They were crushing it. Yeah, no, that's for sure. Yeah,
that's the thing, though. That's kind of where I started learning about the community in jiu-jitsu is right there.
Yeah.
Like EBI and past. So I don't know a whole lot from.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good time to get started, because before that there was like submission fighting and, like, you know, entertainment based shows were not very often. There was a couple that happened. There was one, and we talked about it before. It was like Submission X or Grappling Submission X or something like that. And they had some good matches. They had like Randy Couture and Jacare, and it was actually kind of ahead of its time. But nobody knew how to make money on it because they weren't selling tickets. There wasn't enough people in the area who wanted to go watch it. And
how long has Naga been around?
Naga's been a tournament, though. You know, they've been around forever. When I started, Naga was already going in 05. Yeah.
What did they do? They just like totally disregarded everyone and just like,
they just were like, yeah. Naga was always like the circus of jiu-jitsu tournaments.
I wonder how they do that.
They just do it. Their model is, we want to get as many people in here for a tournament. Don't turn anybody away. Adjust the weight brackets. That's how they always seem to be to me, you know, and just get as many people in here and we'll make it work. Just figure it out and do it. And that's what they did. And they gave away cool stuff. They gave away like belts and swords, and people like that stuff, man. And they kind of set a bar. And then there was another promotion called Grappler's Quest. I don't know if I heard of that. They're still around, but they were kind of like the other Naga, kind of sorta, you know.
New Breed,
yeah, New Breed is I think more new. Yeah, I don't remember them being around back in the day. It was just hard to find tournaments back then. It was really hard. It was rare to find them. You could find them, but it was like the big ones were around. And then finally Worlds came to LA, and then Pans came to LA. And then it felt like all the tournaments were in California for a while, and that was kind of fun because I don't have to drive very far to do anything.
That's sick.
But it's changed since then. They're all over now. You know, they go to Florida, they go to Texas. Yeah. So, you know, it'd be cool if they did a big one out here in Tennessee.
I think Tennessee's, hopefully.
I got to check this real quick. Let's see who this is. Renato left us a message.
Right now, I'm going to hop in right now. As soon as I walk into the house, give me another 5 minutes.
Okay. He left us a little message there. Sorry about that.
Brother. Oos.
All right. So he should be jumping on in just a couple minutes here. Yeah, so pretty stoked about that, man. The South American trials for ADCC are coming up. I think they're starting tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, which is interesting because you have guys that, like, if they do the East Coast trials and they don't win, then they go to the West Coast trials, and if they don't go there, they go down. They'll just follow the trials around, trying to get in to ADCC.
Damn.
Yeah. So
just to get on that,
just to get on, it's still very prestigious. You know, everybody wants to.
I think it's cool
to be part of that, and that's cool if that's your thing. Especially if you're like a real heavy competitor and you're always getting after it. It makes sense to move in that direction.
Yeah, Jim Ross used to say that everyone doing it is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's
even
for
when
sure.
he was in WWE, he didn't bash the other.
He wasn't hating on him. Man, I've been going. Speaking of WWE, man, did you see The Rock and Roman Reigns had this powwow in the middle of the ring, and Roman Reigns said, "I need you to acknowledge me," and The Rock took his. The Rock is such a good actor
him
now,
off of Mr. Roman Reigns,
dude. I mean, he was already a great wrestling character, like great, and then he went into Hollywood, and he is the only wrestler who's gone to Hollywood and crushed it. Like, John Cena's done okay, Hulk Hogan, some guys did okay, but The Rock has literally crushed it. I don't know if he still is, but at a time, he was an A-list guy, man, okay? Now he comes back to the WWE, and his acting is even better. It's even better.
I think it's good.
Oh, man, dude. And the way they're filming the shots, it's like you can't tell if it's a video game or
did you see?
So cool, man.
Did you see that they put red eyes in his bull now instead of like a white eye?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Him being a heel.
That's cool.
When he comes out, like,
it's like a subtle little, nice. You know, the fans love The Rock.
He's going back to like
the
old
OG Rock.
It reminds me of the OG Rock with the sideburn. I wish he'd grow his shit back.
Oh, man, remember that guy?
It's crazy.
Boy, we sure hated him when he first came out. He was so unlikable.
Arrogant.
His character was stupid.
Yeah.
His character was stupid.
He's looking at people like,
yeah. Well, you know what?
We are the nation.
I liked that better than when he first came out and was a good guy.
Rocky Maivia.
Nobody liked him, dude.
Yeah, I didn't really like that at all.
Nobody liked him, dude.
That was whack. He had all that shit dangling off of him.
It was super whack, dude.
Then we are the nation. The domination was...
Then that was cool. That was like Ron...
Mark Henry.
Was that guy Ron Simmons? Yeah.
And then...
Mark Henry.
Wasn't Bradshaw in it?
And then the dude that was Papa Shango. He was the pimp dude. Remember the pimp train guy? What was his name?
Oh, A-Train? Or not A-Train. Fucking...
you know what I'm talking about.
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was associated.
The Ho Train.
Yeah, the Ho Train. I think he was associated with it for a while. And people kind of liked that. And then The Rock kind of moved off into his own character and like really became a guy. But yeah, How over is Roman Reigns? I don't particularly like Roman Reigns.
He's not that over. That's why The Rock's there.
Why?
But neither is Cody,
the champion.
So
for so long.
I like Cody.
Me
but
too.
I understand The Rock too.
Yeah.
When you finish his story.
Yeah.
Shit.
I like.
Shut the fuck up.
I like watching Cody Rhodes. I think Cody has more story potential
Stardust, bro,
than Roman Reigns. You know what I mean?
I do too. But I think with Roman and The Rock together, he don't.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I think they're testing the waters to see who can be more over right now.
Do you think though that like The Rock, when he's up with Roman Reigns, it kind of like shows you how much better he is than Roman Reigns on the mic? And Reigns isn't super good on the mic. It doesn't seem like he's comfortable there.
I've never really liked Roman.
Me neither.
Thought something was missing.
I always feel like they pushed him and he was never really like my guy.
I never really liked Seth. I never really liked Dean. I didn't like the Shield.
I like Dean. I liked when he was kind of crazy acting. That was kind of cool.
The lunatic.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Roman Reigns as a person. I'm just saying like his character, just not my like.
Yeah, I felt terrible for him when he popped up and he's like, I got cancer. And we're all like,
yeah, right.
In shape.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a super nice guy. No criticism there in terms of personal. It's just like they never did it. I feel like they didn't do enough for this character or something. I don't know.
It's WWE, bro. They won't let him do shit.
Yeah.
They won't let him do
yeah. I guess there's some truth to that.
They need some more Stone Colds in there. It says, if you do something wrong, I'm going hunting. You know?
Yeah, right. And that's what he would do, man. Literally. Like he just left. He
wouldn't answer his phone, but Jim Ross, he would answer.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Hey, man, dude, I was watching, not to change subject, but a little bit. I was watching Diamond Dallas Page. They had the Butterbean story posted. And I remember Butterbean, back in the day in the 90s, they had these things called Tough Man tournaments. And Butterbean would be one of the guys in the Tough Man tournaments. And he started wrecking dudes. And they were boxing. And they just get tough guys. Like, they weren't pro boxers. They were just tough dudes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and they would, and Matt and I would buy the pay-per-views and watch them. We were just always like combat crazy, more or less.
I liked him.
Yeah. Oh,
he was on Jackass, and I
loved watching him.
Before that, my grandpa always watched him.
Yeah,
I liked him.
I love watching him. I did not know how debilitated he was. I didn't know he was that broken.
Bro, when I get up in the mornings, it feels like I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, but he's broken, man.
But all he did was box.
I don't know. He must have did something else, dude.
You think it was because he was like heavy?
5,000 pounds, yeah.
His whole time training.
Yeah. I mean, when your nickname is Butterbean, I think you're committing yourself to a life of back pain.
I bet you could get him on the show. I think he's in Alabama.
Is he?
Like Coleman. That's like, I'm pretty sure he's right there with B-Mac.
So Big MF is in talks to fight Butterbean's son.
Yeah, he promotes that. His son, he promotes his son.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he's trying to set it up.
How did he do in the thing? It was a draw?
I think he lost the decision. Yeah, a split. He said he felt like he won, but...
Split decision.
Yeah.
You never know, bro.
Shit,
he went and fought, bro. That's dope.
Yeah.
I would like to have watched it.
Yeah, he's
game, bro.
He's tough, dude. I mean, people can say whatever they want to say about the Big MF, but
he's game.
The guy's not afraid to fight.
He's fucking game.
Yeah, he'll get on it for sure.
You can see it.
Yeah. He likes it. That's for sure.
He moves his head too when he's boxing. He gets in there.
Yeah. No, he does. And he's been boxing for a long time.
I see him honestly doing more martial arts in his pro wrestling, like some of his sequences. I see him doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and like maybe some, I can't fully remember, but maybe some takedowns too.
Jiu-jitsu, he did some takedowns. He wrestled a little. I mean, he had an MMA fight, fought this dude, whooped his ass, like, he's a tough guy. It was like the battle for 209, they called it. Like, he really gorked out on the dude. I remember I was in his corner. It was so much fun, dude.
I bet.
Yeah, he did well. He did a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments. I remember going to jiu-jitsu tournaments and being in his corner at the tournaments.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. Yeah, he has. He's a tough dude, so he's looking for another one. And I guess he might be able to work it out. Butterbean's kid, man. Wouldn't that be wild?
Hell yeah. Butterbean might do it too, but he's a little bit big. He's fucking huge compared to him.
I think Butterbean should not tempt fate. I think he should not
He was trying to fight Jake Paul.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was calling him out last year. Trying to get some media going for it.
That's wild.
They were like, I don't know, bro. You just wasn't even standing.
I'm just impressed by DDP yoga.
Me too.
Like, I'm legitimately, this is crazy.
I think it's just all him, really. I think he's just there for him, and he really cares about the people.
Yeah.
He reminds me of his soul, the way he is as a person. It kind of reminds me of Dean Grant.
He's just, he seems like he really cares about people.
If that person comes around and shows you, and they're always coming around, like you'll be like, you know, you'll almost just be energized at all time. Like everything goes away.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see it in that video. That was a good, long enough video where you could see it, bro. He did that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an old episode. So when I was running inside BJJ back from Stockton, I was recording, kind of acting as a producer for the Last Round podcast with Jim Cooley and my cousin Matt were doing it. And I recorded like the first, I don't know, 15 or so shows with them, something like that. There was some back and forth. Sometimes I just set them up and they recorded it. But I do remember having Mike Tyson on, which was a big get. Like Jim, that was awesome. And then having DDP on also.
DDP?
Yeah, but I would like to get him on Inside BJJ.
Was he doing the yoga yet?
Yeah, he was doing it. This was back in 2015.
He did some other stuff too that's even more crazy.
Did he?
Yeah, there's some guys that were on drugs, and he got completely off fucking drugs.
Yeah, I mean, he's helped a lot of people. If you watch it, what does he do? He does stuff like this. Oh, you can't move your arm all the way over your head? Well, just move it halfway then.
That's what I want to do with people, honestly.
Just move your arm halfway.
Really out of shape.
He just keeps encouraging them. You could do it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And over time, they do it.
That's it.
But I think if people believe in what you're doing, they will usually find success.
Exactly.
If they don't believe, man, it's hard.
100%.
Super hard. You ever go to like an event or a show, or have you ever seen a hypnotist in person? Somebody who hypnotizes people, and he'll like have a group of people and he'll do a demonstration. And
not a hypnotizer. Maybe at like a fair they had a thing one time, but it was like funny.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's all based on,
That's out here.
Does the person believe they can be hypnotized?
Oh, I'm sure.
And so they bring you up on the stage and they ask you to do a series of things, and they start filtering the people out that are not compliant. And it becomes apparent, the people who are like, hey, I'm not falling for this shit, you weed those people out. And it's the people that are going along to get along. Yep. You go like, oh, this person will fall under my spell. And they'll do whatever you tell them to do. And somebody will go, well, they were faking it. They weren't hypnotized. But I say, if they did what you told them to do, then they were hypnotized. Like, isn't that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, got to believe. I think believing is important. And I've noticed that, like, for your own self, you're trying to accomplish something, you're trying to get somewhere, especially if you're injured. Especially, dude, when you're injured and when your body gets in a state of pain and it's been that way for, like, say, over a month, you start to develop, like, a mindset of pain, and, like, your framework, your baseline for how you feel every day is in pain. It's really, really hard to look forward and picture yourself feeling better. It's hard. The thought that goes through your head is this going to be the rest of my life? Like, is every day going to be like this? And it's hard. And to get better, you usually have to put some work in, and that's not easy. That's hard. And that requires, like, a lot of effort, and it requires a lot of sacrifice and a lot of work. And, people don't often want to do that. But if you believe it's going to work, your chances are a lot higher. And it's the same, like, if you have a group of guys and you're training and you're doing jiu-jitsu, and like we're doing out here in Nashville, we're trying to get ready, and we have these competition classes and everybody's coming. And I'm telling people, hey, we got to show up, get behind each other, put the work in, and believe that what we're doing is helping. Really get in here. And I'm a big believer in body language. You know, I think like body language is super
shows
important.
Everything.
It does, man. And you can be coming in and training, but if your body language isn't right, then your mind's not right.
It's not showing respect.
No, it's a
respect thing, I think.
It's a direct reflection of where your head is. You know, what your body language is. And so that's something I notice. I watch our guys when we're training. I feel how they feel when I'm training with them, and I'm going like, hey, are these guys present right now, or are these guys just kind of like, you know, like they're tired, they don't want to be here, they're not feeling it.
That's part of it. You got to know that that's part of it, and it's set up Indian style, like in school. Yeah,
absolutely. Hanato's downloading Chrome right now, so
I'm gonna message my manager right now.
Okay.
Peyton's cars all they still, like I might not go to work today. I don't know. I'm on main shit.
Yeah. Well, we'll just figure that out. Yeah. I'll do this. I'll pull you from the stage for right now. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Renato Canuto coming on. I met Renato back in Utah at PG, sorry, not PGF, at Proving Grounds Invitational. And he kicked ass. And it was awesome. I got to make sure Renato has the right link here. And I got my rear end kicked that tournament by his partner. And I was really like kind of feeling bad about it. And Renato came out and just murked his opponent. It made me feel so much better about how I had done. Oh, I gave him the wrong link. Okay, hold on. Let me update the link here. Sorry, guys. Let me fix this. I gave you the wrong link. Sometimes that happens, folks, when you're doing a show and you record it live. Let me give him the right one. Paste. There we go. Here we go. We'll get it. We'll get it. You ready to jump back in, Blake? All right, let me jump you on. I'm going to add you back to the stage. All right. So, yeah, dude. He's going to be getting on. He just saw the message, so he'll be jumping on in just a second. So, yeah, I met him out in Utah, dude, and he was so good, man. Like, I knew that he was going to be really, really good at jiu-jitsu just based on the type of game that he had. And it was really cool to run into him again at the qualifiers in Las Vegas and talk to him and see how he was doing. He showed up, and to talk to him about being on PGF Season 6. Like, I'm really stoked to have him out there. I think it sets the bar really high. And he's not an easy role. He's super difficult with his style. He's able to adapt and play a lot of different types of games, and he's really fast and creative. Not an easy role. And when you're hunting for submissions to score points, and you're less worried about, like, you know, if I get tapped this one match, where you're gonna have a bunch of matches. You're not just gonna have one match. Like, you're gonna have a bunch of matches. So you have a lot of opportunity to really open up and really get after stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in that capacity, to see a guy like him that's really creative, just really be able to get after it. You know, I think that's going to be a fun thing to watch. Let me get your mic going, bro. There you go. We good? You all good?
Yep.
Hey, we're back. And dude, $20,000, 20 G's, man. If your team wins, you get 100 G's as a team, and then each athlete takes 20 home.
That's nice.
And even if, so let's say you're a guy, you could potentially, oh, there we go, get no subs and still go home with $20,000. Okay, we're going to jump in right now with Renato Canuto. Renato, welcome to Inside BJJ. How you doing, brother?
That's all, my guys. Everything good.
It's good to see you, man. I got Blake with me here. So, Renato, you are coming out for PGF Season 6, man. I'm stoked that you are part of this. How important is it to you to be involved in something like this that's new? The format's new. It's a different format than what we've seen. And also there's significant prize money available, which is something that it does show up sometimes, but not all the time in jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, well, very, very excited. I got some of the guys from PGF come to the gym to do an interview with me, and they kind of like put me on the loop a little bit better of how things work or going to work. Then they made me super excited. I think it's a cool, very cool idea. I can't wait for the public to see it. I feel like I even commented with them. I feel like back in the day, the closest thing I've seen to anything like that is like the Lloyd Irvin show that he made. I can't remember what it used to be called.
Oh, you're talking about the one?
He did the same thing.
The one Lloyd Irvin did? Yeah, like
yes.
Enter the Kumite or yeah.
Kumite, yeah.
I remember that.
Everybody. And I remember, like, so when they were talking about it, I kind of thought, I was like, okay, this kind of sounds like, the Kumite thing says, oh, that's cool. But then when I was talking to them, I was like, okay, cool, that's very cool. Like on the sense of that, I like how they're gonna pick the teams. I don't know if you can talk about these things.
Yeah.
Already. So they were mentioning like how that there's gonna be drafts and people are gonna be drafted. It's gonna have number 1 all the way to number 20. Each coach has 10,000 points to buy the guys. So they're gonna be like trying to view the athletes. I was like, this is crazy. That's going to be pretty cool. I hope I'm not number 20.
So let me ask you that. Yes, man, because I brought that up. I said, well, man, how do you think number 20, is he going to be salty? Like if you go in and you're number 20, you're going to have something to prove, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a good motivation, honestly. I mean, if they put me in number 20, I'll be kind of like, okay, let's go.
And if you go number 1, then you kind of have something to prove also. Like there's some high expectations there.
Yeah. I mean, if you go as number 1 and you go there and you suck, that's not going to be nice. Again, it's hard. It's hard to say because it's like 6 minutes to get a submission.
Yeah. Right.
Like as good as I am, I also, I've competed in like points rule sets. I've competed on no points rule set. I've competed in ADCC formats. So I feel like I fought a lot of good guys, and sometimes some guys are really good. It becomes pretty hard to tap them. But it's also a lot harder to tap them when you're thinking about like, oh, if I do this, I may lose in this position, I may get scored on, So at least you don't have that to worry. It becomes a little bit more like training-wise, where you're at the gym, guys are actually trying to tap each other and trying a little bit harder. I feel like it's just going to depend on that, Some people sometimes they're like, oh, I'm going to want to beat this guy, so I'm just going to be super defensive. So it becomes a little bit harder sometimes to get openings. So there's all of these looks that I'll be trying to like replicate these looks at the gym and make a lot of specific training to get myself ready. But I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I mean, out of the 12 first matches, if I can get 12 submissions, it would be very nice.
Do you like that the choke gets more points than the other submission? So if you get a strangle or a choke, you get 6 points. If you get an arm bar or a leg lock or a wrist lock, you get 3 points.
I like how they explain, right? I understand, okay, I like playing video games, right? So when they explain as like, okay, this is a cue and this is a break, I get it. It's like stabbing them versus shooting them from afar. I kind of get the idea. With that said, I'm an armbar guy. I love them. That's what I see the most and I hit the most. So, I mean, if I see an arm, I'll still go for it.
Sure.
And try to get it. But I'll definitely be attacking a lot of chokes at first and trying to get a choke very likely. So, but I'll take whatever. I mean, I'm trying to get submissions in general. I feel like if I tap everybody, even through arm bars, I will still very likely be on those 8 in the finals, and I'll still help my team to make enough points. But if I can get more chokes than joint locks, then that would be awesome as well. Yeah, let's see. So what goes out.
Anybody else that has been announced? Let me look. I'm going to pull up the competitor list. Some of these names are not announced yet, so I don't want to say all the names. But out of the ones that we know about, we've had AJ Agazarm, Elijah Carlton, Andy Varela is going to be on. So there's some pretty big names. Kieran Kachuk. So anyone in there kind of jump out to you, or anyone that you have fought before or have been interested in?
I mean, a lot of those guys that you talked about it, a lot of them like shoots. A bunch of, I really didn't fight for a whole lot of them. I fought with John Combs before twice, holding the gi. I've won both. They were both tough matches. He's a good competitor. I respected him a lot too, because I remember him from back in Brown Belt when like nobody knew him, and Zach Baenzi tried to shoot a double leg with him and guillotine him right off the bat, like hip tossing me into a guillotine on the mound. I was like, oh shit. So like, he caught my attention back then. I still respect him to this day for that, and for other shows that he had as well. Competes a lot. I fought PJ Barch before Kasai. It was basically mainly a wrestling match. Won that one too. I don't think I fought any of the other guys that that have been announced yet, but I'm interested to see how my game will play out against guys like Keelan Kitchuk or even Renato Canuto, guys that like more leg lock days and play guard. I fought guys that do that before, just trying to see how I'm going to be able to counter those type of attacks and leg entanglement, see if I can get their back or be able to maybe reverse and attack their legs instead. I don't know.
Do you do research on your opponents when you're getting ready? Like, especially with guys that you've never matched up against, will you go watch YouTube or video of them?
Yeah. So I feel like a big part of my success when I first came into the Nogi scene was due to that. Like, I liked watching jiu-jitsu for a very long time. I learned a lot about watching competition. So when I knew I was going to fight all these guys and it was Nogi, which was something a little bit newer for me, I felt like Nogi Worlds was a brown belt and another Nogi competition, but that was about it. Like 2 or 3 matches, 2 or 3 times on Nogi. So I was going to fight like Kasai, and I had to fight Gary, I had to fight EJ, I had to fight Manchakira, Celso Vinicius. Like, these are all like, guys who are like more known in the Nogi scene. So I studied a lot of them like ahead. I didn't know who was going to be on my side anyway, so I was studying them for a long time. And I feel like that helped me a lot. And for a lot of other tournaments, I've done the same thing. I like to see where's their main attacks, what's their stance like, where's their main shots, their main submissions, how they're trying to set it up. That way I'm kind of knowing what to expect, and I can change the way that I'm going to defend, ahead. I planned a bunch of counters. It worked well for me, like, on a bunch of the times. And sometimes it also doesn't work too good when you watch too close to the match, and then you're just overthinking, now you're just too defensive. With the time that I have until April 22nd, when we're like about to start, I'll be good. I'll be studying all of them and watching as much people as I can and figure out like, okay, with this guy, the my options are more limited to this and this. This guy's gonna attack this leg, or he likes to play guard to this side. I'll definitely have like a good notes made for them, so it's gonna be fun.
How hard is it to find the balance between being prepared, but also, because I feel like you're a very creative grappler. I feel like you do a lot of things that are, kind of like on the fly. How hard is it to like be prepared, but also give yourself that flexibility you need to like find a dope submission? You know what I mean?
It's a hard battle, but like I don't know. I feel like I've been doing this for so long. So in my head, like the battle in my head, we're like, I want to win, but I also want to try to do this crazy thing, that I'm thinking about. So again, it depends on the person. With some guys, it won't give me enough space, and I might have to be a little bit more serious. Some other guys, if they let me lose and they let me like you go on the match, like I'll try more and more things, So again, it has kicked me in the butt in the past before, but like it never stopped me from doing it. I just corrected the things that I did wrong. Like I used to do a lot of car rules forever, right? Since
you did.
I was car wheel fast and do some cool stuff with the car wheel. But I would always place my hand on the ground, and then eventually I would place one hand, and then eventually I was like, okay, I keep pulls. I got triangle or armbar before, like both, trying to do car wheels, and I was like, okay, now I just don't put my hands at all. I go for like a car wheel without the hands on the floor, but like behind their arms. That way they can't catch me. If anything goes wrong, they usually don't invert it. So like, I had to change all these little things for all the crazy stuff that I do, because I do for so long, like flying submissions and all those things. I've seen what can go wrong a lot of times. So like I've already adjusted a lot of my moves. So it's like a lot harder to defend nowadays or to counter me nowadays, even though it's coming sometimes, and I hide well too. I feel like, I'll feint a lot and I'll make you think of different things. pull reactions out of you, and then I'll hit it. So it's hard sometimes. When points matter, it's harder. Now that points don't matter, that's why I'm excited to do it. And because I have 12 chances before the main one, which become, again, if my team wins, right, I got 15 matches total. So if I can get all the way up to the end and get all the 15 matches, so that's 15 chances that I have to do a bunch of cool shit. You know, that's really why I signed up for it. I was like, okay, this doesn't sound like, you know, I'm not gonna be fighting the number 1, 2, 3 in the world, like they were not there yet, you know, but it sounds like they might be jumping on it, especially after I signed up. I heard that was bullshit.
Sure. I saw some of the names are pretty good names, so yeah.
That shit,
it's kind of cool. So like, yeah, there is a lot of good guys, but like my point of being is there is like, you know, I'll be much more loose, and I'll be, you know, out of the 20 people that are going to be there, and I'll tell you about the 19 guys. I think, you know, there will be a few matches that I'll be able to do a lot of cool stuff, a few matches that, you know, I don't know how it's going to play out, but trying to get prepared for all of it.
It sounds like you're saying that you have done some of these things like the backflip pass or the flying arm bars. You've tried them so many times that you've kind of figured out what goes wrong and what goes right. And what, so even though it looks like you're just going like, oh, got an idea, I'm going to do it right now. You've done it 1,000 times already. That's pretty damn impressive, man.
I can explain to you how to do it, how to set it up, how to make sure like it's going to work right, and or like at least like the worst case scenario, how I'm going to get out of it and be free.
That's impressive.
Guys out there like trying to do backflips and putting themselves in shitty spots.
Well, because of you.
So, I know. It's like it looks very cool, right? Like I want to do that too. You know, I'm gonna go fire and then go fire for the wrong reason. You know, so you gotta be careful.
You have a bunch of white and blue belts trying to do backflip passes in their home schools during the week, and
I feel bad. Dude. I feel bad for the coaches. You know, I feel bad for the coaches.
They're like, what is this?
The guy that takes the blame. It's not me, you know. I feel like Andy Varela can be backflipping more often than me, so I just blaming him. But like, it's Andy now, and there's no one selling that.
Yeah,
I just do it when I feel like it's proper.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So it depends a lot on the guy's guard, honestly. Sure. If the guy has a very sharp guard and sharp reactions, like I'm not gonna get chest to chest fast enough. But guys, like when I hit on Jason Rao, for example, he's really good, right? Like, I'm not saying that he's not good, he's really good. But he's very flexible and very calm.
Yeah.
So he moves very slowly, like, you know, whatever, you hit my side, I'm gonna pull my foot to my chest and just go over. Or, you know, like I'll pull his leg, I'll drag his leg, and the reaction that gives me is like a slow leg over. It's not like I'm here.
Right.
You know, like I'm watching everything like they're scared, you know? Like he was very calm. So then I was like, you know, I'll have plenty of time to get to where I need to get, and I had that in my head already to do it in the Eddie Cummings fight. And I tried on Eddie Cummings, but I didn't try that much. Like, I was kind of scared of making a mistake, so I kind of tried it like sideways. So when I did on Jason Rao, I had a good warm up through that match, and I was flowing and feeling good. And then like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, bang, then he hit it, you know. But
yeah.
I tried on Michael Lange before, and I'm not gonna pass Michael Lange's guard like that.
Yeah,
cool, you know?
It'd be sick if you did, though. Yeah,
I almost passed him with a cartwheel the first time we fought. That's how I beat him. You know, was that scoring of like cartwheeling, getting really close, and he turtled like on my advantage. So I sweeping the end of the whole battle, but I still beat him because of the advantage of nearly passing him. I mean, I passed him, but he just very end found a way to turtle.
Yeah,
you know, but yeah. So
hey, I wanted to ask you about the style of grappling right now that we're seeing, specifically Sunday. Congratulations, of course, your wife Raquel Canuto won her match. She did a real nice job, looked fantastic, right? The pacing of the matches, and it could be the rule set, you know, but the pacing of the matches now, specifically like the Cody Still, Ronaldo Jr. Oh my gosh, man! I
was supposed to be fighting Cody Still in that match, actually.
Wow, really?
And then I couldn't get a release from one like fast enough because I was trying to fight an A out of one as well.
Yeah.
And then one just kind of, you know, like, no, we wanted to fight here. We're gonna get you something. And then I was like, okay, I don't think I'll be able to do this time. And then they finally gave me the okay, and that's how come I ended up on doing PGF. But by the time I went to tell Tachi, because Claudio and Tachi, the guys that organized the AFC Fight Pass, they train in my gym. So they come to my gym like Rivera. So anyway, I came to them and went to tell them like, hey, I'm going to be able to do it. They're like, oh, we already replaced the next one. Maybe whoever wins. And then I went to that match. I was like, hell no.
You want to fight Ronaldo Jr.?
Ronaldo's awesome. Like, the idea of fighting Ronaldo is always awesome. It's cool to see him and Ogie doing all of that.
Yeah.
I feel like now people are going to be like, oh my God, who's this guy? What is he doing? But like, shit, if you watch the Gi, you know that guy's a killer for
amazing.
A long time. He's been doing this forever.
Yeah.
He's good. Like, someone I respect and I watch and I learn from, you know. His passing, insane.
His wrestling looked good.
His takedowns was good. His wrestling was good.
Everything was good.
Everything looked good. Back takes are good.
Yeah.
I mean, Cody was just super durable, and I was like, hell no, I ain't give you anything easy.
He's tough.
So that was cool too.
Yeah. The other match that I was impressed with was J-Rod and Jonathan Alves from Art of Jiu-Jitsu. Alves is a world champion. I did not expect J-Rod to submit him. I did not see that coming. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Look, all credit to J-Rod. You know, he's been doing a great job. I like watching him as well. Training him before, keep flows. It's cool. Now, Jonathan Alves was so scared of trying. He didn't even try. Like, he was scared. He fought scared. I'm sorry to say that. If he doesn't like losing, he probably knows the same thing. He probably like, oh my God, I locked up and I didn't even gave myself a chance. And it happens sometimes. And sometimes you're just in your head, you're like, oh shit, this guy does a lot. No, he has this attack and that attack. And like I said, it's good to watch sometimes, but it's bad when you're overthinking, pulling the trigger. But I feel like Jonathan Alves has been having that problem. And that happens to a lot of guys, especially in the Gi, right? Because in the Gi, most of the rule sets are with points. And then like, Jonathan Alves is really good. I've been watching his Gi since he's a blue belt. I remember watching a match of his. He was like 15-year-old and he was fighting those. And he was a lot stronger than those.
Yeah.
He was screaming, trying to push him off, and he didn't even do it. He was like playing face, like side control, squeezing the guy. But he used to beat everybody up in the hard-ups. Fast, they back, tap people, like really good. And he came to the black belt, I feel like he just locked up the idea of like, oh, I need to find a way to win. So now he stalls, man. He stalls way too much. He's like, it's not fun to watch. People boo it and people get stressed. I was like,
interesting.
When I saw him in that show, I was like, that's not a show fight guy. He's been on other shows and he done the same thing and people are not happy. It's like a slow type of dude. So he's like, it's a selfish way of fighting, right? So like,
sure.
I'm not selfish. I like when people get excited. I like to come in and be like,
entertain,
and everyone's excited. It makes me excited. It makes me actually like flow better. For some other people, maybe like it's more stressful. It's like, shit, I don't want to lose in front of this young crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that has happened to me before too. But like, I don't know. I feel like at this point, he just gotta let it go. He won worlds already. Just go, just try, go for it. Like and again, maybe it was just the way that J-Rod approached the match. And I'm wrong. It was just fully J-Rod's job, but like I just didn't see him even giving himself a chance.
It seemed like the pace that J-Rod was doing jiu-jitsu at a wrestling pace. Like it seemed like he was in a wrestling match, like collegiate or freestyle wrestling. And Alves, I think he had an attack in the beginning, didn't he?
Can do, a lot of
same thing. Yeah.
Like, they just know that, like, shit, I can't outpace people. I can't stay on the outside, get in, get out, and I'll get caught. I feel like I done that for a long time, too. I pass on the outside and get in, get off. Like, don't let people grab you. Don't let them grab my legs. It's a good way of, like, making people tired, making people expose arms and turbo, things like that. But at the same time, it's like I said, like a guy good like John Tavares should never go out without even giving a battle. Like someone like Cody Steele, right? And again, I have a lot of respect for Cody Steele, but Cody Steele hasn't fought some of these guys. Like, he hasn't beat some of like the real good guys, and maybe his confidence just needs to go a little bit higher. And experience and all these things matter. I feel like John Tavares has competed against a lot of good guys, so his confidence should be a little bit more like, come on, prove a point. But you just world champion. Like, he didn't put himself in that. He put himself on like, oh shit, this is Nogi. I don't know what's happening here. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think there's more nerves because it's on Fight Pass and it's the UFC and Dana White's there?
He was by himself, man. He was by himself. That was a big thing too.
He didn't have anybody with him?
Nobody, dude. He walked out on his own.
I didn't know that.
No corner?
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, with that said, I know that Guilherme Mendes, he was coaching his son and everything he was coaching his son on a tournament in LA. Like, they had a bunch of guys competing over there too.
Yeah.
You know, so I saw that they were both there, Guilherme and Rafa. But again, it was weird. I was like, well, we're going to have one friend to come with him. You know, everyone brought like coaches or even two guys went in, like Craig Jones Nicky Rod had two guys with him.
Yeah.
So I ran in and jumped Roberto as well, for example, you know, because before it was just one coach. But anyway, he didn't have nobody with him. And I was like, oh, shit, that kind of sucks. Maybe even that, you know, just feeling like shit. I'm doing this thing, but I'm already not too confident.
Yeah.
On do it, and I'm on my own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
no
feel
one
you.
cornered him. No one cornered him.
He just rolled in solo. Just rolled down. Came out to Vegas by himself. Damn, that's
the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're there by yourself.
Damn.
You're by yourself.
That's tough.
You overthink how this gonna sound. Then you jump in, so like that also doesn't help.
You're just sitting in your room.
The last time I think he fought Nogi too, like I think he didn't do too well, like at the AIGA thing. I guess someone like Pesgar or
Interesting.
Or something. I can't remember exactly what. But I think he got beaten like badly. Too. And you know, maybe his confidence is not too good in Nogi. But again, doing that merge to the scene, I'm so glad I did when I was like about a brown belt and I got to watch it get better, like, you know, a little bit ahead of time. Check when you're already a black belt, like, oh, the money, I can make some money here in Nogi.
Yeah.
That's what people think, and then they jump in. It's a different game. It's a different card that you have to play. You have to wrestle. Judo doesn't work as good. So it cuts a lot of my abilities, for example, in half, you know. So I had to develop a lot of other abilities for Nogi. You know, so a guy like him in the gi has a great guard, but Nogi, he just didn't have a guard to show.
When did you start training Nogi?
2016 when I moved here to America.
Was your first Nogi tournament the Proving Grounds in Utah?
That was not my first Nogi. I think I did I did 2 or 3 Nogi events, but I never trained Nogi, right? Like back when I was like a kid, as a blue belt or whatever. I never trained. Like I actually got knee barred once at ADCC Open, I think, like in Brazil, when I was like a little kid. I was like a juvenile. But anyways, like when I moved here, yes, that was I think that was my first. No, I did a grappling match. My first one was a grappling match when I got here. Was Zenit at the time, Drysdale. Sorry, I was at Drysdale, right? So it was Drysdale versus Temple in town here, in Vegas. So I fought one of the kids, the kid that just won the. There you go. See, I fought another guy. I fought Michael John.
Oh, really?
That won the trials. I fought
won the qualifiers.
John,
yeah.
It was a cool match. I couldn't tap him, dude. I tried really hard. I did a bunch of cool stuff. Cartwheel, the Leo Ferreira rolling back take, guillotines, squeeze his neck on the rear naked. He was shaking, going off. I was like, God damn, this guy doesn't want to die. You know, it was cool. I had respect for him.
Yeah, you might have a chance to rematch
now
him.
It becomes so much tougher, you know, because you just stayed on it. That's been already 8 years ago. And then Proving Grounds for the second one.
Yeah. I remember you from Proving Grounds, and I told you the story at the qualifiers when we were chatting that your partner, Enrique, he whooped my ass in the match, man. He got me real fast. And I remember I was feeling kind of bad. Like, oh, man, like I did terrible.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Dude, I was just kind of sitting on the side. I'm like, damn. And then
He's one of the kids. So to make it feel better, like I competed with Enrique since we were like 11, 12. We fought 7 times before we started training together.
Wow.
He's like, he was like always competing since he was like a little kid. So it's like one of those freaky.
Yeah, he's
like,
good.
You know the memes of like the Brazilian juvenile kid that shows up to the gym?
Yeah.
That was that kid.
Yeah. He did great. He did great. It was fun. But I remember you came up a few matches later. It was Renato Canuto versus Bill Cooper. And you flying armbarred Bill Cooper. And the whole place was like, whoa, who is this guy? Because everyone knew who Bill Cooper was. You know, because that was the kind of shit that Bill Cooper did to people.
Oh, yeah.
And you did it back to him, and everyone was like going crazy, and I was just like, oh, nobody's thinking about me anymore. I was so happy.
Worse in your head, you know, like,
yeah, it is.
Honestly, like whenever you get beaten up, like even how we were talking about like matches and stuff, so like, you know, we were just talking, like nobody's like holding that against you, you know, like, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
That show next time is gonna be fine, you know.
Yeah.
We just, you know, it is what it is. And in your head, you're gonna live with that for so long. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so ashamed. Like that's the hardest part of the sport.
I think so.
The fight, you know, it's like aftermath, right? Like you're at home. I wanted to eat all this food, and I cut up and now like I just don't want to see food. Get out of here! It's just like,
yeah,
that's hard.
You're right. You're right. And for some people, you know, some people they do jujitsu, they're never going to be good competitors. They're just going to be average. And they could still do jujitsu, have a great time. It's still awesome martial art. You go to class, you have your friends. Like, it's part of the culture.
Yeah, you might get in like in a situation of life or death, and actually like be able to deal much better than a competitor. Like it doesn't say much, you know. It's like competition is like the being calm, understanding. Like I feel like it takes time. It takes time. Like I don't see a whole lot of competitors that just come in out of nowhere. They're really good competitors, you know. Yeah. Even the guys that don't really good, like let's say like Nick Rod, like he was a blue belt and he came into it to see like how long was he competing in wrestling, for example? For a
long time.
He already had a good wrestling background, probably grew up wrestling, probably, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just put yourself through for so many times, eventually it becomes more natural and you get a little bit better, you know?
Yeah.
So for some people, the nerves are just too much and they lock up and they can't even like show how good they are, and that sucks.
They're the gym killers. Those are the guys that are really good at open mat. They'll crush you at open mat.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're like using all the strength and smashing, squeezing you. But you go to compete against superheroes at that fast.
That's true.
Why did you do that today,
That's one of those things. Hey, Renato, man, thanks for taking the time to chat with us today. You could catch Renato Canuto on season 6 of the PGF. Go to pgf.world. It's coming up April 21st to the 27th. I believe the draft is on the 21st in the castle. I've been to the castle. The castle is amazing, man. It's going to be great, dude. World-class coaches, world-class competitors.
Excited.
I'm really looking forward to it too. All right, brother. Thanks, man.
Much.
Have a good one. All right, man.
Go there and hopefully put on a good show. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
I'm pulling for you, brother.
Guys, thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you, bro.
Okay.
All right, bye. That was dope. Renato Canuto, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Inside BJJ studio. Very nice job there, man. Dude, that guy's so good. I'm serious. His teammate, I was supposed to fight this other guy. I was 38, and I was supposed to fight this other guy who was like 40 or 39. And then the night before, they're like, oh, your guy pulled out. Fuck. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, we got this other guy. And I'm like, well, how old is he? They're like, oh, he's young. He's 19. And I'm like, he's 19. They're like, he's a purple belt. He's not even a black belt. Don't even worry. And I'm like, okay. Like, all right, dude. Fucking guy was on my back in like a minute, dude. A minute. And I remember he was going for the choke, and I was laying on my side, and I was looking eye to eye with this kid. He was like 3 feet away from me sitting on the mats, and he's just like this.
Like so calm.
Just looking right in my face. Yeah, as I'm just getting choked, dude.
You didn't give a shit.
Oh, I felt like garbage.
You're like, I'm in the worst situation.
Oh, it was so
right
bad,
now.
dude. It was so bad. Yeah. It was so bad. Yeah, man.
This guy's just getting
it in. So, yeah, man. Anyway, make sure you guys catch Renato Canuto, PGF Season 6. This guy, if you haven't seen him, you need to go back and watch some clips. He's a real fun athlete to watch. And I think there's some really good matchups in there, dude. Like, we're talking Renato Canuto, Andy Varela.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to watch that.
I was wondering if he had a match with him.
Yeah. No, I don't think he has yet, so that'd be some cool stuff. All right. Good shit, dude. Thanks for coming in today, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out Everyday Jiu-Jitsu. Go to bjjeveryday.com. Got a bunch of cool gear up there. Check out Cultist Apparel on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Inside BJJ. If you listen to the podcast, whatever platform you listen to the podcast in, why don't you do me a favor and give me a gigantic review. And even if it sucks, if you hate what we're doing, leave me a long review and I'll read it on the podcast. If it's like a 1 star, I don't care. 1 star or 5 stars. I don't want anything in the middle. Give me a 5 or give me a 1. Don't give me a fucking 3. I want you to be hot or cold. Yeah. I don't want you in the middle. That's how we're playing the game here. We're going all in at Inside BJJ. That's what's up. All right, man. Thanks, brother. Oh wait, I gotta find the music. Hold on, I haven't run the board in a minute. Hey.